A friend of mine, Colonel Thomas Moe, a retired United States Air Force fighter pilot who fought in Vietnam and spent 5 years in captivity as a POW. Some of that time was spent at the Hanoi Hilton with John McCain. Today, he is active in civic affairs, member of many community and service organizations. In 2009, he was inducted into the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Colonel Moe is honorary chair and a founding member of Ohio Veterans United. Colonel?
Thanks, Eric. Good morning. I'd like to start off with just a few words about who we are, Ohio Veterans United, what we stand for, and why we believe that John Kasich is a person that shares our values. Ohio Veterans United is a nonpartisan organization that supports strong national defense, traditional American values. We advocate legislation that fully supports our troops, military families, and veterans, and we work to ensure that every military absentee ballot is counted in every election. We also support limited government, personal freedom with responsibility, and enforcement of law and order, among other traditional American values. Our mission is to educate citizens on the need to maintain and restore these values in our government by electing those people who cherish and have defended those same values. John Kasich is such a person. Today we are honored to endorse his candidacy for governor of Ohio. And I'd like to address these remarks directly to Mr. Kasich. John, after a thorough review of your background and experience and positions on issues, we believe that you epitomize what we look for in a leader, especially in these hard times. During your 18 years in Congress, you showed strong support for our military and for our veterans. You served on the Armed Services Committee from 1983 to 2001. As a member of that committee, you're responsible for key legislation affecting defense budgets and military members' pay and compensation. You were an integral part of the team that developed and passed legislation that gave commanders in the field more authority, a change which has been credited to fading our success in the Persian Gulf War. You were also a strong supporter of retaining Ohio military installations during the base realignment and closure process to protect and add jobs to our great state. We thank you for your continued support of our military and our veterans. Ohio Veterans United firmly stands behind your candidacy and looks forward to the day when you become governor of the state of Ohio. The citizens of Ohio can rest assured that partisan politics will not be involved in any of your decisions, only what is best for Ohio.
Well, it's a great honor to be here with the three gentlemen that I stand here with. But Colonel Moe, we often pass over the kind of courage and heroic efforts that he made 5.5 years in confinement. Colonel, I just was reading the other day about Liu Xiaobo, the Chinese dissident who sits in a Chinese prison, and you read things like that, and then you think about a guy like Colonel Moe, like you, Colonel, and you think about what it takes to survive. And as you said, you found strength from the Lord. Some days it took just counting the days down. Sometimes it took counting the hours down. And as you said, sometimes it was the next 60 seconds. To have veterans endorse my candidacy is a significant personal feeling for me. I did serve on that Armed Services Committee, and I always felt that the people that you paid attention to were not the brass, not the top brass, but the soldiers. And I will never forget being in the desert before the first Gulf War. There wasn't much good happening out in that desert, gentlemen. And I remember being with the soldiers and asking them what they thought, and they said, we just never know when the enemy may come. So we must prepare 24/7. But it's difficult to have the discipline to prepare 24/7, but we're doing it. And I remember leaving that desert and getting on the airplane on the way back to the U.S. and said, we can't wait any longer. We can't put our soldiers out in a situation that is that borders on the impossible. Fortunately, those wars came to successful conclusion. At the same time, when you spend a little bit of time out in the field with the troops, you're always overwhelmed by the kind of personal sacrifice they make. And it was not long ago when I, on 9/11, attended a service for a soldier who had been hit by a roadside bomb. In fact, there was 2 incidents, and hopefully he's going to recover at some point. His wife, though, was just unbelievably strong. And what the veterans and our service people go through, I'm so deeply appreciative of their service to our country. I think they also provide a shining example of what it's like to live a life of service that's just beyond yourself. And you are the type of people that will advise me when we talk about partisan politics. There's no place in it whatsoever. And in the years I served on the Defense Committee, you know, some of my best friends were on the other side of the aisle. I was very, very close to them. Also, the other thing that I'm very proud of is the involvement that I had in making sure that we empowered the commanders in the field and didn't let the decisions just get made from the top down. Some people credit that with being one of the most important reforms of the Pentagon, and I had an opportunity, of course, to serve on that Goldwater-Nichols Conference Committee, which in fact pushed power out into the field of combat where we would have more effective and more efficient decision making. As the governor of this state, veterans will be treated with great respect, high honor, and I think there is a real opportunity, Colonel, for you to be able to lead some of our veterans throughout our schools in this state and tell them about your experiences and what you went through and what courage and character is all about. And as you do that, you can rest assured that I will be a governor that will stand up for the military. I will stand up for the military in this state. I will stand up for veterans. And again, I just want to take a second to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's a special day for me. You are all patriots, heroes. I feel humbled by the endorsement. Thank you.
I want to thank you all for coming.
Could we ask some questions, please?
Step forward.
Well, we were hoping to get some information on the Ohio Veterans United. How many members are there? What percentage of veterans in the state you represent?
We don't have a membership. We have a number of volunteers across the state. We have a list of about 2,000 plus that we are in contact with on a regular basis. We are nonpartisan. We have endorsed Republicans, Independents, and Democrats across the state, and will continue to do so.
Could somebody tell us what the long-term